Batteries, batteries, batteries. There is so much to talk about when it comes to batteries, from how they're made to how big or small they are, what shape they're in, what are the components and materials that are required to make them, how do we use them, how do we recycle them, and much, much more. I really love all the battery talk. You could even say it charges me up. Okay, sorry for the pun. Or am I? Today, I want to talk to you about how lithium-ion battery packs have hit a record low price at $139 per kilowatt hour. Welcome back to the Spec podcast. I'm your host, Francie. Thank you for plugging in today so that you can learn about some EV news with me. Okay, 2 puns. That's it. Lithium-ion battery packs or batteries were first introduced in 1991, and they have definitely seen a lot of evolution since then. Supply and demand have driven the prices for the materials that go into batteries up and down over the years. And today we're going to talk about lithium. We've actually seen some dramatic trends in recent history. So let's dive into all of that. The big storyline here, like I said, is that the price per kilowatt hour for lithium-ion battery packs is at a record low, according to an analysis by Bloomberg NEF. So this is a research organization that dives into all of the data that's out there in terms of energy and draws conclusions, puts the data together, and helps to analyze this so we can understand the larger implications on the market. Really cool research. Definitely check them out. In their specific analysis that we're going to talk about today, they did find that battery demand across electric vehicles and also stationary energy storage solutions and systems is definitely still growing. They reported a growth pace of 53% year over year, and that in 2023, this year, we reached 950 gigawatt hours in this industry. So funny enough, considering what we've started out stating, which is that prices are at an all-time low, just at the end of last year, we actually saw the highest price for lithium-ion battery packs at the end of 2022 at $151 per kilowatt hour. So what is the reason for all of this back and forth? I'm telling me that the prices are the lowest that they've been at the end of 2023, and at the end of 2022, they were the highest they've been. So last year, we saw the price rise, like I said. This pointed to a couple different causes. The price of raw materials and components that go into batteries being pricier. And of course, as I'm sure you know, and I'm sure you feel, the higher inflation rates that we have been experiencing in the broader market. Not only was this the highest price recorded, but it was in fact the first ever increase seen for lithium-ion pack prices since Bloomberg NEF first started tracking the market 13 years ago. The drama here. You never know what's going to happen. Of course, we have to look at this on a global scale because the battery market is very much still a globalized one, stretching across borders and across nations. There has been a lot of effort to bring battery manufacturing onto U.S. land, keeping it within the border, as you can imagine, and other nations are doing this as well. There's an effort to close the loop, close the supply chain, take out a lot of the costs of overseas work in that globalized market, and also to probably make their country a stronger contender in the battery manufacturing space, which is definitely growing still. So the decrease in pricing is not only felt here in the US, where I am, but also in China, Japan, and South Korea. Let's go over there. So they all saw a 77% decrease in pricing from the end of last year to now the end of 2023. So Reuters reported that the price this month per kilogram of lithium was $18.50 in those countries, which is down 77% where they had a peak at the end of last year, which was $81 per kilogram in November of 2022. Same kind of thing. Really high last year, a lot lower this year. Lithium is the third element on the periodic table. It is extremely lightweight. It has a high electrochemical potential, meaning that it is very reactive. Ions can easily pass back and forth, which is great for transferring a charge, otherwise known as electricity. In its purest form, it is a metal, but we usually see it as lithium carbonate when it's sold on the market. It's mostly sourced from China. China is home to 8% of the world's lithium reserves, which are mostly found in an igneous rock called spodumene. That's taken from the Institute of Energy Research, the Institute for Energy Research, actually. And lithium is extremely important to the world economy. It is used in a lot of different ways, far beyond the world of EVs, and it supplies many industries. but 74% does go to batteries, largely due to the properties that I mentioned a second ago. It's lightweight, it has a high electrochemical potential, making it an excellent choice for batteries, if not a critical component, in fact. Not only for today's batteries, which include NCA, NMC, LFP, solid-state batteries, of course, lithium-ion batteries, which use lithium in one way or another, but also for future battery production. And some exceptions to the batteries today that don't use lithium include NIMH, sodium ion, and a few other small batteries on the market, but they're very limited in their commercial usage options and are mostly used in other use cases and not at all really likely to be used in the EV world. The price of lithium, and of course, any other critical component that go into these batteries that are used at such a large scale, influences the cost of battery manufacturing and ultimately the cost to the consumer at the end. So let's take a quick jump into the economics and the policy now. Prices are mostly determined by supply and demand in the global market. Supply and demand are also often altered from what is naturally occurring, the natural supply and natural demand for these, natural, in quotes, with government intervention, these can be altered, supply and demand, or in government action like subsidies, taxes, exemptions, and incentives. So China was and is still a huge EV market, and they also dominate the battery supply chain. In last year, 2022, 4.4 million EVs were sold in China, which is about 22% of the passenger vehicles that year. Europe saw just over 1 million EVs sold, and the US had under 1 million in 2022. So China is just absolutely far ahead in terms of the EV market and EV adoption. This is largely due to the past 10 years where they had large subsidies for EVs, which actually was just cut off 10 years after a decade of these incentives. The government has stopped them. It was an estimated $57 billion in tax breaks and subsidies over the last 10 years, which, as you could imagine, had people really buying EVs. It was definitely incentives. So cutting this off has led to a reduced demand for EVs, and EV sales did fall in China as an effect. The ripple effect continues outward. This created a reduced demand for, of course, the batteries and the materials that go into EVs. On the other hand, we've had large increases in the lithium supply worldwide from all the top producers. This includes Australia, Latin America, Africa, and China, which all had a massive increase in mining in those countries. All of these factors, the lowered demand and the higher supply, led to reduced prices for the critical materials that go into the batteries in EVs. Keep going with the knock-on effects. We've seen it go up and down the price of lithium. So what can we expect next? Possibly reduced mining and output efforts in the near future as a means of controlling the supply. Maybe more government action. Midway through this year, actually, China introduced a $72 billion package for EVs over the next 4 years, starting in 2024. $72 billion. So this will obviously, you can imagine, help regrow the demand in China and help China continue to be such a dominating force in the battery industry, which they are a very important player in manufacturing batteries and EVs today. Perhaps we will see a rise in the costs, a bit of economic speculation here, of these critical materials and then batteries in general based on a limited supply and changes in demand, perhaps the opposite effect. But much of the research does say that it's likely that we've seen peak prices in this space already for EV batteries, which seems to be good news when it comes to making EVs more affordable, which is something I'm very passionate about. I think we have way too many expensive EVs and way too few inexpensive EVs. Pulling from a variety of sources from market research reports that are out there, there's a lot of projection at what we think these battery packs will cost in the future. Some are estimating $80 to $90 per battery by 2020. Actually, not 2020 anything, by 2030. And some research has reported that we may even see prices as low as $60 per kilowatt hour by 2030. We'll have to see. There's not much that is predictable, but we can, of course, look to history to see how economics has gone in the past. What other effects have been happening in the industry lately in terms of the economics of the EV and battery manufacturing? Well, we've seen automakers divest or delay efforts in battery manufacturing. including Ford. So we actually have a podcast from a few weeks ago. I will put it in the show notes, where we saw in Ford's Q3 earnings call of 2023 that they are delaying their battery manufacturing efforts, including their battery manufacturing plant in Kentucky, in conjunction with SK, another company. So who knows? We have also seen a lot of automakers recently announcing that they are pulling back on production based on EV demand. So it's all a ripple effect that are all playing here and could be predicted or tried to be forecasted, but of course, responding to real-time efforts. So what might you expect to happen next? A key to making EVs more accessible is more affordable pricing. It might come from a decrease in EV demand, ironically. So this may come from better ways of using second life materials in new EV batteries. So recycling those materials and incorporating back into them, which we have some interesting podcasts on EV battery technology, the cells, and also recycling. So stay tuned for that. And by using second life materials, although it is an intensive process to recycle, the goal is that we don't have to mine new materials and instead keep that price down, because mining, of course, not only impacts the environment and the people involved, it's also costly and has, a lot of work and effort that are required to mine those materials. So we'll have to see about that. There's a lot of ways that I think we can bring down the price of EVs, but we're still working on it. Just what an interesting topic. I would love to deep dive into this with both an economist and like a geologist, maybe even a chemist. Who knows? Maybe it's just a panel and we could talk for hours on this, but I'll wrap things up here and we can all wonder for the rest of the day what the future of mining, world economics, and EV batteries will look like in 10 years. Put your best guess in the comment. Who knows? Maybe we'll be referencing it in a decade. Thank you for listening. I will catch you next time on the Spec podcast.